I'm 22 years old. That's like, just like, truly speaking, in adult years, I'm only 4. Because, you know, 18, 19, 20, or 19, 20, 21, 22. See, I can't even fucking count on my fingers. I'm 4 years old in adult years. You know, from 18 to 22, that's 4 years. So, technically speaking, I don't know the answers, right? And the whole message of my account, the description that it says that I am here, my name is Smedgy, and the whole reason why I'm here is to kind of document the creative process, kind of show you a piece from start to finish, and show you how I feel the entire time, because a lot of the time I really just hate it, right? That was me in the beginning, maybe me last year when I first started this channel, that was how it was. The creative process has changed a lot between then and now, because now I'm like, you know what? Because I've seen that I can create a piece and make it satisfactory to my liking, I can create something now, like I can have faith knowing that I'm going to create something good. So it's not stressful anymore. It's not stressful anymore because I know that I'm going to make it good. And that's because of practice, that's because of confidence, it's because of the whole slew of other things that make it good. Because a lot of the time now, I've recognized that creating, like, for the sake of production was not the point at all. It was the journey, because that's the one time that I can shut my brain off and just do something and troubleshoot and problem solve. So one thing that I can like create a little tiny project to and actually like stick to it and create it, start it and finish it, which is like a big problem that I have specifically, follow through. But it kind of trains you, you know, it's like it's the act of doing it. It's the action that's important here, that it's training you to be. That's it. That's the point of any of this. And it's hard, really, because like this world will have you really second guess yourself a lot. This will have you second guess a lot, and sometimes you'll find people who will agree with those views to make it feel like, well, okay, then they're right and I'm wrong in feeling this way, or that like my product isn't good, or like what I've created isn't good, or that the action, like I should focus on the successes because that's how you're gonna get by in life. And unfortunately, we can't. Like they are right to some degree. They are right to some extent. Like you can't really just focus on the feeling, and you have to like produce. We're in a world of production. And maybe that sounds crazy. Maybe like I'm crazy. And I've fully come to recognize that I'm so fine with being called that. That is the one thing that I have almost kind of worn, oh my God, as a badge of honor. Because at this point, I really do value being unique. I really do value being my own person as much as I can. So when people do say that like, you are nothing, that you are unlike anything I've ever met, you are unlike anything that I've ever seen, I'm like, that's literally all I want to be. It's hard to understand sometimes. Because even for myself, I'm hard to understand myself. And sometimes you don't really like, the overthinking aspect really does kill the fun out of everything. Comparison's the thief of joy. You know, you can overthink yourself into a hole. You can overthink yourself into like not having fun anymore. And that's like what you don't want to happen. And I'm so afraid of wasting my own life. Like, and I've cried about this before on this channel, oddly enough, where I've gotten just way too goddamn deep. And because it is a pressure point. It is a painful point. I feel like a lot of Gen Z people, right, including myself, because I am a Gen Z, are so fucking afraid of the future, because it's slowly we're figuring out that like maybe you don't need a degree. Maybe a degree can't help you, you know? Maybe a degree isn't the only way to get to where you need to be. And I mean, you know, after they fucking, you know, made it impossible to get financial aid, or you know, defunded the Department of Education, who the fuck? Like at this point, it's like, no, I can't do that. Like, why would I do that? How am I going to survive? With the no money, with the negative money in my pocket after that. It just really makes you like, you know, these are like some examples that show you that it is difficult. That it is like, life as you knew it when you were growing up is not how it is at all as a grown-up now, as you're trying to figure it out. Which is why I feel like this is a great time for creative arts. It's a great time for you to understand who you actually are. Quieting all the noise, quieting all of the stuff you see on social media, quieting, the doom scrolling and stuff like that, which I am obviously I suffer from that problem. Trying to quiet the noise and purge all the garbage, that has been hiding in the folds of your brain, that is, the short form content and stuff, and trying to actually understand, like, what do I like? Who am I? What do I like to create? Can I actually create it? How can I make that come true? And then do it. You kind of got to sit there and just kind of like really be real with yourself for a second, because it is like so hard in the beginning to like sit down and be quiet, because it's like instinctual. I'm going to grab my phone and fucking do it. And everyone has said this before. I am not the first person to say this. I'm probably not going to be the last person to say this. But at the same time, you kind of just, it is kind of what you have to do. If there's one thing you got to do, it's that. Sit and be by yourself for just for 5 minutes, dude, every day. And it's hard. Nothing worth it is ever easy. That's why I compulsively create. That's like the real reason. That's why I like the process of creating rather than the creation of it. But oddly enough, honestly, and this is just the one thing that I'm going to leave you with. Thank you for being here this entire time, listening and watching. But the one thing that I'm going to leave you with is creating, the whole process, figuring this stuff out. That's the whole point. We do it because we love it. Kind of forgot the thing I was going to say because my attention span is a goldfish, but